First of all, I congratulate AIU for the 98th Foundation Day, and happy Foundation Day. And after 2 years, you will be completing 100 years. I may not have the opportunity to be among you on that particular day, so in advance, I am wishing you good wishes for the 100th Foundation Day. And also I thank AIU for choosing to hold this event in USTM in my neighboring state Meghalaya. And I congratulate USTM for being able to host a series of such national level events in this campus. I congratulate Mahbubul Haq, GD Sharma, and the entire family of USTM. The theme for this event is Transformative Higher Education for Atmanirbhar Bharat. I'll speak only a few words on this Atmanirbhar Bharat. Many among us, we understand Atmanirbhar Bharat to the limitations of nation's ability of producing the vaccine, producing aircraft, self-sufficiency in food production, etc., etc. But Atmanirbhar Bharat, it should not be understood only to the limitations of our national goals. Rather, the Atmanirbhar Bharat, it should cascade down to the village level, to the individual level. COVID has given us this great concept or great mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. Bharat is surging ahead. As a nation, it cannot become Atmanirbhar without Atmanirbhar states, without Atmanirbhar districts, without Atmanirbhar villages. We need an Atmanirbhar Assam, we need an Atmanirbhar Meghalaya, we need Atmanirbhar higher educational institutions, we need Atmanirbhar districts, we need Atmanirbhar villages. And what would be the role of higher education institutions, or say our universities and colleges, to make Bharat Atmanirbhar, make our state Atmanirbhar, make our districts Atmanirbhar? The biggest challenge that we are facing today is to solve the unemployment problem. What the contribution of our higher education institutions in solving this unemployment problem? To become Atmanirbhar, we require a huge movement, Jan Andolan, on entrepreneurship. We need a massive movement in the MSME sector. What would be the contribution of our higher education institutions for fueling this Atmanirbhar Andolan, fueling this movement of entrepreneurship, fueling this MSME Jana Andolan? The higher education, I hope the AIU in these technical sessions or the future discourse, you will definitely work on these things to make India self-reliant. We are not talking about removing under the NEP, we are not talking about the removing the silos of art, science, commerce, etc. streams. Okay, that will be done through multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinary courses. But what about the silos of our departments? What is the solution to the thought process of departmentalism, limited knowledge system of department? What are the issues of the silos of individual knowledge systems? We all understand our students will be immensely benefited from this multidisciplinarity, from this interdisciplinary courses. But what about the multidisciplinarity of our faculties? The students, and institutions take good care of the best students. And anyone takes good care of the best students. But what about the students who stagger behind? And if that kind of group of students come to the teachers, sir, we could not, despite our best efforts, we could not get good grades, good marks. And we have failed to do well in the civil service or even the grade 3, grade 2 job competitions, examinations. What suggestions being a teacher you can give us for our self-employment? So every department, faculties, they will not have answer. They will say you can consult your MLAs, you can consult others who have the expertise on self-employment. Now, in such situations, sometimes I think the country's IAS officers, IPS officers, they come from different background, different academic background, engineering, humanities, medical background. But once they become IAS officer, they are given to deal with different subjects, different departments. A student who has a background of engineering, he becomes an IAS officer, and thereafter he looks after agriculture department. And he does that successfully. But in the higher educational institutions, we remain very restricted, limited to our own subject, own department, and fail to give guidance to our students in terms of their self-employment, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of their career. And we refer them to experts who have the entrepreneurship subject. I think all our faculties, they have the capacity to learn, to acquire knowledge about entrepreneurship, knowledge about career, knowledge about employability. And they can, once if they inculcate their own talent, and if all the higher educational institutions, they form an entrepreneurship cell and discuss it thoroughly about entrepreneurship and work out program for the nation as a whole to lead this mass movement, Jan Andolan of entrepreneurship, then we can guide millions and millions of our students who will not make it to the civil service, who will not make it to the engineering, medical, or IT sector, white-collar professions, but who will be back to the job, back to the sector which provides the largest employment. Now, once there was a kind of thinking that agriculture is for the people, the marginalized section of the people, for them it is the duty to produce food. So if you depend on the most uneducated, the marginalized section of the society for production of food, this country cannot become one of the best in the world. The agriculture sector, it needs to be equally glorified. We need more and more educated entrepreneurs in the agriculture and allied sectors. Government of Assam, we have instituted a civilian award from last year, and this civilian award we are not giving to academicians. This civilian award we are not giving to literature, to poets and writers. This we are giving to only those entrepreneurs who are contributing to as a whole development of the state in terms of giving employment, in terms of food production, in terms of self-reliance. A person who produces 1 lakh egg every morning, 1 lakh egg every morning, no matter what is his degree, no matter what is his academic qualification, but he produces 1 lakh egg every morning, and we have chosen him to confer the highest civilian award. Someone who is doing better in agriculture, advanced agriculture, Someone is doing very excellent work in fish production. We have chosen him or her to confer the civilian award. So unless we create a situation where the dignity of labor, dignity of the sector, when the sectors like agriculture, etc., are glorified, then only I think our educated youths will come forward for self-employment. The biggest challenge of higher education institutions. Yesterday also I was talking in a session that higher educational institutions, we are giving degrees, we are producing degree holders, certificate holders, but are all of them employable? What is in terms of employability, what is the result? How many of them are getting employed? Employed by others or self-employed? Every educational institute, higher educational institutions should do an audit of employability, audit of placement. If you are producing a politician, record it. If you are producing a businessman, record it. Let that be audited. If you are producing employees for big IT companies, audit it and come out with a report card. Come out with a report card that this number of students have been given placement or employment. Second, we need to create employer. And to create employer, we need to produce entrepreneur. Without entrepreneur, there will be no employer. And if there is no employer in the private sector, we cannot address the unemployment problem. I think these kind of challenges, we at this transformational stage, our higher educational institutions must address. We will deliberate on these things, and for a resurgent, vibrant India, for nation, for an Atmanirbhar Bharat, we all will work. We need solutions. We need ways. We need new paths to become Atmanirbhar Bharat. Not at the top alone, but at the bottom as well. Every village must be self-reliant, and how a village can be self-reliant, we need answer from the universities. Every person going to the higher educational institutions must come out with a hope of employment, not by others, even by self-employment. And his productive forces should truly be utilized for good of the country. I think if in that direction, if we at this transformative age, centering around Atmanirbhar Bharat, if we all deliberate on, we will have, on the basis of the NEP, we will have a beautiful, successful, workable agenda for the future. With these words, I welcome you all again to Meghalaya and Assam. Thank you very much. Have a good day.